Hello, Ben.
Hello, Yaron. How are you?
Good. How are you, Ben?
Good, I'm good. I'm ready for the webinar. Always nice to see a lot of people. And we have a really interesting webinar today. We're going to talk a lot about a lot of things. We're going to see actually how to use the AI algorithm to identify opportunities in the markets. We're going to see what the algorithm actually thinks about the market for the next month. We're going to see some examples from the last few days, and we're going to talk about the stocks that everyone's talking about. And we have a really interesting webinar for today, so really happy that a lot of people joined us, and we're going to start in a minute.
Exciting market, Ben.
Really exciting market, and we're going to talk about it in 2 minutes. Want to set some stuff and be ready to go. And if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to ask us through the Q&A option in your Zoom platform. We will be happy to answer all of your questions, so feel free to do so. And I'm still seeing some people that is coming, so we're gonna wait one more minute and we're gonna start.
Meanwhile, please feel free to share with us your current portfolio. Please use the Q&A window and let us know which stocks you have right now in your portfolio. And maybe during the webinar, we're going to share some live predictions specifically about the stocks that you are mentioning.
Okay. All right, let's share the presentation.
Oh, Nebius. We have Nebius fans in the crowd. Amazing. Okay, we will try to talk about NBIS. Additional names that we see people that interested in Dell. We're definitely going to talk about Dell during this webinar. Marvell, Oklo, MicroStrategy, very interesting names.
All right, so let's start with a quick disclaimer. The information provided in this webinar is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial investment or legal advice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Investing in financial markets involves risk, and all investment decisions are sole responsibility of the attendant. So I'm ready when you are, on.
Okay, I'm born ready. Let's start. Okay, guys, hello to everyone. I see people from all around the world that attending this webinar. The market is pretty exciting. In this webinar, we will try to talk about the opportunities and how we can actually identify the opportunities on a daily basis by using artificial intelligence, specifically I know first predictive algorithm. I will start with a quick overview of our activities and introduction. So my name is Yaron Golger. I'm the CEO and co-founder of I Know First. We are an AI company. Our main solution is a predictive algorithm that generates daily forecasts for the financial markets and identifies the most promising investment opportunities. We are utilizing artificial intelligence, more specifically deep learning, artificial neural network, genetic algorithms to predict the financial market. Our predictive algorithm is generating daily forecasts for over 13,500 assets from different asset classes, equities, ETFs, indices, commodities, currencies, with daily forecasts for multiple time frames, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. This is a global solution. We are generating daily forecasts for over 50 global stock exchanges, including the stock exchanges in the US, Canada, Europe, Israel, India, Japan, China, you name it. Basically, every significant stock exchange around the globe. Let's jump to the market, Ben.
Yeah, and right now everybody talking about Marvel. We can see that the company is the stock is actually jumping by, I saw like the last time was 7 or 8%. This was the pre-market and yesterday return with 32% a jump in one day, which was kind of crazy. And the algorithm has actually predicted that movement, as we can see in this forecast, the 7 days forecast here to the left. We're going to talk about what those green cells represent and what are all those numbers. But before that, that's just a quick view of the algorithm abilities. We can find Marvel here in the best 10 stocks to hold for a period of 7 days. This forecast was generated on 26th of May, and it's relevant up until today. We see Marvel here with 48% jump, and that's not include today's 7% more. So we can see that the algorithm is suggested to buy Marvel. We can also see here in the same forecast IBM that jumped by 29% and HPQ that jumped by 8.12%. So this is for Marvel that everybody's talking about, and we can see that the algorithm actually knew it first. In the same time, we can talk about Dell that also had some significant move in the 3 days time frame. You can see it in this forecast. In this case, Dell was in the head of the forecast, and the stock jumped by 37% in a 3 days time period. This forecast was generated on 27th of May, a day before, by the way, the reports of that, the earning of that company, and we see a 37, almost 38% jump, and being one of the 10 best stocks to hold for a period of 3 days. We're going to talk furthermore about Dell and Marvel, but this is just a quick example to show the abilities of the algorithm. And another interesting thing that we want to show you was actually from the last webinar that we had. We showed you what are the best sectors and indicators to be in for the next month. That was on May 3rd, actually exactly 1 month ago. And those are the results of those assets. That's pretty crazy. We can find here, of course, the semiconductors XSD is semiconductors equal weight, stocks are semiconductors, IYW is technology ETF, the Nasdaq, you can see Nasdaq 100, and you can see the returns here to the right, which are pretty insane, 30% in 1 month. That's a really good return for a period of 1 month. And in the end of this webinar, we're also going to show you a forecast for the next month. So stay tuned to the end of this webinar. We have a lot of surprises for you in this webinar. So stay tuned.
Yeah, as you said, the most exciting thing about this forecast is the fact that the AI managed to identify basically the best place to be in this for this month. We're all experiencing, the excitement around the semiconductor sectors, and we see here two independent predictors, basically two independent predictors that pointing to the same sector, the semiconductor sectors, as you just said. Okay, I would like to introduce the INO-FIRST team. So as said, my name is Yaron Golger. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of INO-FIRST. I'm also lecturing for FinTech and Artificial Intelligence at the Reichman University. I'm the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Board at the Israeli Export Institute. I'm an engineer with MBA from the Ben-Gurion University. And the INO-FIRST predictive algorithm was developed by our R&D team that being led by Dr. Lipa Reutemann, INO-FIRST co-founder and chief scientist. Dr. Reutemann has an extensive experience in the field of artificial intelligence, over 20 years of experience. He is from the Weizmann Institute of Science, and he is leading our unique R&D team that includes PhDs, AI and machine learning experts. We have math professor from Tel Aviv University, as well as employees with the background of data science, math, statistics, and physics. Today, Ben Rubin is going to lead the webinar, the head of our advisory. Ben used to work for Bank Hapoalim as an investment advisor with extensive experience with retail and institutional clients from all over the world. And talking about institutional clients, the INO-FIRST predictive algorithm is being trusted by the world's leading hedge funds, investment houses, family offices, banks, brokerage firms, as well as retail clients and high net worth individuals from all over the world. In this list, you can find leading hedge funds, leading family offices, leading prop companies that using our technology in order to manage their portfolio, basically, and to identify opportunities in the market on a daily basis. The solution that you're about to see has received several international awards from UBS, from NTT Data in Japan, and also from the Geneva Wealth Tech Forum as the best international AI-powered wealth tech solution. Yeah, you can see here several ceremonies, and also Jensen, dear Jensen. We are really proud to cooperate with Reichman University, one of the leading universities in Israel. We are delivering several courses there for the 4th year already. And what makes us unique, basically the fact that our AI is generating daily forecasts for over 30,500 assets from different asset classes, from 50 global stock exchanges. The AI was developed by Dr. Lipa Reutemann, as said, a team of scientists, and it's being trusted by the world leading hedge funds, banks, and investment firms. In our website, you can find different articles and videos from different TV channels that were covering our predictive algorithm. You can find it in the media section in our website.
And of course, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, please feel free to scan the QR code and join our community, our growing community, in which we are publishing forecasts, the AI articles, and talking about the market. So feel free to join us in our WhatsApp group by scanning the QR code. And I see a lot of people doing it right now. Good, very good.
I'm doing it as well, Ben. It's about time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do? Basically, we are providing two solutions to our client. On one end, the AI algorithm is generating daily forecast in the form of an heat map that basically identifying the most promising opportunities in the market on a daily basis. Every day, you are receiving the very same heat map that we see on the left. By the way, you see Marvel in the top part of this heat map. This is an example from April, but this is exactly what the algorithm is generating on a daily basis. Every day you are receiving an heat map with opportunities that waiting to you in the morning, every morning in your email, in your mailbox. This heat map includes the best opportunities for 6 different time frames: short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. On top of that, we have developed systematic trading strategies that basically converting the daily forecast into a portfolio and also creating the rebalancing, usually monthly rebalancing. We are going to discuss and to present those solutions in this webinar as well. The INO-First predictive algorithm includes 3 components. The first component is basically identifying the most promising investment opportunities for you on a daily basis. The second component is a stock market intelligence component, and by utilizing it, it's possible to identify the best sectors in the market, the best regions across the globe, and also the direction of the main indices, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, of course, the volatility indices. It's also providing us insights regarding sectors and regions that we should avoid, basically. And the last component is providing us a custom solution based on each client exposure. In the very same way that you guys provided us several tickers in the Q&A, it's possible to train the AI algorithm based on a pre-made investment universe, your own list, your own portfolio, and basically you will receive on a daily basis daily forecast for your own watch list, basically. So how do we do it? Well, it's pretty exciting. Every day, the AI is collecting data that coming from the entire financial market, extensive amount of data, that representing the financial market, basically. Data that's coming from the different stock markets that we are monitoring, data that is coming from the commodities market, the currency market, even the interest rate market. Basically, we are tracking all the data that is available in the financial market that is representing the financial market. We are adding the daily data to our database. We are managing database with historical data. And around the clock, the AI is learning from the historical data, learning from the daily data that is coming from the market, and also from the combined data. And every day, the AI is building, by using our technology, the complex network that exists in the financial markets. In the financial markets, there are thousands of correlation sets, and the AI is able to build this complex network of correlation sets, and also to change and to build again this network on a daily basis. So without any human intervention, the AI is defining the thousands correlation sets that exist in the financial markets. I will give you a simple example. There is correlation between the oil prices and the airlines companies. There are similar thousands of correlation sets that exist in the market that are less known, and you are receiving the bottom line of this complex process. The daily forecast for the timeframes that we see on the right, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. Of course, the AI is also learning from each successful forecast and also from each failure, and it's part of the input for tomorrow's forecast, basically. So every day, without any human intervention, the AI is building the complex network that exists, that's representing the financial market. And the thing here is that the rules and all the correlation sets are usually not static. The financial market is a dynamic system. So the AI is basically able to adapt to the new regime, to the new changes in the market, and to define this correlation set from scratch on a daily basis. In terms of the technology, we are combining different AI methods into one predictive algorithm. We are utilizing deep learning, artificial neural network, genetic algorithms, and the goal is basically to separate and to focus on the most predictable assets in the market. Not everything is predictable in the market. However, the AI is able to separate the unpredictable part and to focus on the most predictable assets from each investment universe. It could be the S&P 500, it could be the Russell 1000, Russell 2000, or even specific sectors across the market. Ben, you're muted.
That's true.
Okay.
All right, I will try to explain how to read the forecast. And as we can see, is an example of a forecast. This is a 1-month forecast. We have green cells that represent a long position, and we have red cells that represent short position. In each and every cell, we have the best 10 stocks to hold or assets to hold. And we can see the symbols of those stocks, which means for this particular month, the algorithm suggests us to hold those 10 stocks. Inside those stocks, we have 2 indicators that help us to focus on the best stock. The first one is the signal. The signal is the number that is located in the middle of each and every square. If we'll take NVDA as an example, the signal of NVIDIA is 36.7. And that means that the signal actually represents the predictive movement of the specific asset or the price deviation. This signal is actually our internal index, and it goes through all the assets that we cover, 13,500 assets, and it's helping us to rank them from the assets that are supposed to move in the strongest way, that have the strongest signal, is located on the top left corner of each and every table. In this example, APLD has the strongest signal, as we can see here, 56.4, and the signal goes down to the right down until the most negative symbol that we have here with in this example, it's BN with minus 7.7, which means this specific stock is supposed to go down in the hardest way from all the assets in this specific table. And so the signal is a relative index that helps us to focus on the assets that's supposed to move in the strongest way up in this case. The other indicator is the predictability indicator. We can see it at the bottom of each and every square in the left part of the square. In NVIDIA case, it's 0.43. This indicator is a Pearson correlation measurement. It moves from 0 to 1, while 0 represents like 50% probability that the asset will move to the predicted direction, which means it's like flipping a coin. And 1 represents 100% that the asset will move to the predicted direction. So we always try to find or always try to focus on that the stocks that have the highest predictability level. So among the 10 stocks that you will get in your forecast, try to focus on the stocks that has the highest predictability level and has the highest signals. And we'll see some examples from the market, from the last few days in the market. But before that, I want to show you how the forecast actually looks like. In the morning, before you start your trading day, you'll get an email with the Excel file that gives you those 6 time frames with the best 10 assets in each and every time frame. And we can see it in the 3 days, we have 10 assets and 9 assets too short. In the 7 days, we have 10 assets. We can see that some of the assets actually repeating themselves in multiple time frame, and that's actually a good sign. We would like to see assets that appears in multiple time frame that bring our confidence to higher levels when we see those stocks. And of course, we're gonna look for high predictability and high signals in those time frames. And if I want to trade, for example, in the 1 month time frame, I will see which stocks are in the 1 month. If I can buy all of the 10 stocks and hold them for 1 month, it's one way to treat it. And another way is focusing on the best predictability and high signals. For example, SKYW in this case has the highest predictability level. VCL also has high predictability level, but and also a stronger signal. So I would focus on that particular stock. But of course, that's just an example and not today's forecast. And let's see some examples from the last few days. In this case, we have a 3 days forecast. We can see it on the top of this table. This forecast was generated on 29th of May, and we can find stocks such as VCH that jumped by almost 20%. We can find MU that jumped by 15%. And of course, we can find here now that jumped by 70.4%. MU has actually the strongest predictability in that case, in this forecast. And interesting to see this movement. To the right, we can see the performance of those 10 stocks from 29th of May until the 2nd of June. That was actually yesterday. And we can see the average return of the forecast, which is standing almost for 7%, while the S&P, the benchmark, made 0.6 in the same time. If we'll jump to the 7 days time frame that was generated on 21st of May, we can find some really interesting stocks such as DMRC that jumped by 24%. We can find NVTS that jumped by 24%. And today, also, just before the trade, I saw it going up by 20 more percent. This is kind of crazy. In 7 days, 44%. That's a lot. As well, we can find here AMD with 15%, FCL with 20%, and the entire forecast gave us 14.7%, while the S&P did 1.7%. This is pretty remarkable. And if we'll jump into the another 7 days forecast, we can find other stocks that this is like 1 day after it, and we can see now with 24% and NTAP with 40%, and the entire forecast gave us 11%. Also interesting to see here Microsoft, that a lot of people talked about it lately, and went up by 7.4% in that time. And as we go to the longer time frames, we can see that the predictability level is also getting to higher values, which is good for us. We'll always look for the highest values, and the signals as well are getting stronger. That's why we recommend focusing on the longer time frames of 1 month, 3 months, and try to find stocks from those time frames. In this specific case, we can find stocks such as NSIT that jumped by 20%, now with 30%, and that was on the 17th of May. And FICO, IMVT from the biotechnology universe, and many other stocks from different sectors. And this forecast made almost 14%. Jumping to the 1 month, and here we can find really strong signals. Pay attention to the signals that are getting stronger and stronger. And this is actually from the 27th of April. We can find stocks such as MXL And we also talked about this stocks in our last webinar, by the way. We show it live. You can find NVTS is still here in Avitas, is still here from the 27th of April, jumped by almost 67, more than 67%. We can also find the ARM that also appeared in this forecast, and it has a really important role in the next PC generation, as we heard in the last news for NVIDIA and Microsoft conviction. So we have a lot of interesting stocks here that generating returns that came up till 30% in 1 month. This is like a 1 year return, and we have it in a 1 month forecast, which is I think pretty amazing. Even if we jump to the longer time
By the
frame of
way, you mentioned MXL, Maxwell. As we speak, Maxwell is up by 9%. You already spoke about NVTS that is jumping by 20%. And yes, we spoke about MXL in our previous webinar, as you mentioned, exactly 1 month ago. Since then, this stock is up by 25%.
Yep. And we can also find in the 3 month some really big movement here.
Right.
One of the most interesting movement, of course, is AXTI with 230% in 3 months. But more than that, we can find NVIDIA, Wolf, Dell, as we're going to talk about it in a minute, that jumped by 151%. And MU and HUT as well had with 114%. And look at the return for the 3 months time frame, 83% in 3 months. This is spectacular, and we can see that the S&P moved by 8%. It's almost more 10 times the S&P in returns. And if you'd like to invest for a longer time frame, like 1 year, you can also do so with our forecast, because you are getting all the time frame. And in this case, if we were choosing the 10 best stocks that was generated on 29th of May 2025, we would find APLD with 550%. We could see Rocket Lab with almost 400%. VRT, the cooling server company, with 190%, and the return sum up to almost 140% in 1 year. I think is exciting, and the 1 year. And by the way, if you check the predictability here, it's a really high predictability, and the signals are pretty strong, are the strongest actually. So this is why we like the 1 year predictability for the 1 year forecast, because the indicators in those forecasts are really strong.
By the way, we see here actually two quantum computing stocks, QBTS and RGTI.
True.
Interesting.
True.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're seeing companies from different sectors, CVNAs from the rental car, and QBTS is from the quantum computer, as everyone said. And we have a variety of sectors that the algorithm is picking from the best stocks for a 1 year time frame. And if we go into a specific case of Dell, we saw it jumping by almost 40% in 3 days, but our clients actually wasn't that surprised from Dell. And I'll tell you why. Because if you would get into the forecast of the 27th of May, you would see Dell in the head of the forecast with the strongest signal of 0.52. And you would know that Dell is supposed to do like a really big movement, and it actually did 37% in those 3 days. But that's not the last case that we saw Dell, because 2 weeks before, in 17th of May, Dell was still in the head of the forecast with the strongest signal above all the 10 stocks that we see here. And it jumped by 17 4% again in 2 weeks. This is a big company. I mean, it's not like a small cap company. It's a pretty large company, and we're seeing a really, really big movement that the algorithm detected 2 weeks before, but actually not just 2 weeks, because if you look at our last webinar that happened in the beginning of May, we gave you this example, this forecast in the live webinar. We told you those three stocks supposed to be really good by the rest of the month. Actually, I can see the title, the subtitles here. This is what I said on the last webinar, and of course they'll jump by 100% since then, and the algorithm identified the big movement on Dell actually even further back. If
And
we
I,
look
I
at,
hope you listen to yourself, and
yeah, listen to me. I'm speaking, saying some important stuff during the webinar. Once in a while, it sounds I have a really good sentences that I say, but we can see also that the forecast is about Dell was actually generated uh, even in the end of February, 27th of February. Dell was in the list of the best 10 stocks to hold for a period of 3 months. And we can see with Dell also MU that jumped 120%. You can find Wolf with 47%, LASR, AXTI, and many others that provide us a really, really high returns in a period of 3 months. This specific forecast came from the hedge fund forecast, hedge fund package. We talked about it in the last webinar, a really interesting package that focused on hedge fund stocks. And if we can look at the example from actually the last month, we can see WKHS that was also in our webinar forecast that we gave on the 1st of May. And we can also see here Dell, BNGO, HPQ, Palantir, and many, many others. This is the 1 month, and the 1 year is also really exciting with VRT, APLD, RGTI, and many others. Some of the stocks didn't went, by the way, to the right direction. It's not working 100% of the times. We have some mistakes, but let's say 7 out of 10 with 118% return. I think it's a really good result for 1 year and even for 3 months. So that's the hedge fund package. We're going to talk about some interesting package that we are giving you in this webinar. We have an interesting sales for those package. We'll get there in a few minutes. So the first package is the hedge fund package, and I think the most relevant package right now is actually the semiconductors package. With the semiconductors jumped by 60% in the last few months. And if we look at Marvel, that everybody talks about it right now, the algorithm is actually pointed on Marvel on the 26th of May, just before it jumped by 48%, as we can see here. And also, actually being one of the leading stocks on the 6th of April. That's like 1 month ago. We can see that Marvel was at the head of the forecast with a pretty strong signal. And again, with many other stocks, such as Intel, by the way, that jumped by 124%. But we can see that Marvel detected, the algorithm detected Marvel even 1 month ago. And what's so interesting about this forecast, I think, not just that the algorithm gave Marvel as a good stocks to buy for the following month, the timing of this forecast, I think it's pretty amazing. If we look at Marvel chart, we can find that the 6th of April is around here. And from here, let's say around the 100, 100 price, Marvel got into almost 300. This is unique. The timing of the algorithm is amazing, I think, in this case, from the 6th of April. You couldn't ask for a better forecast. And if we are looking at the stocks package, we talked about actually in the last webinar and even the webinar before that, we pointed at the stocks sector is looking like the strongest sector that we see right now. And if you want to get the best stocks out of this sector, the stocks package will provide that, as we can see here with Marvel, Qualcomm, and AMD and Intel that outperformed the market by 18%. And also, if we're looking at the longer time frame, we can find stocks such as MU, ASML, Amat, TER, and NVDA that also provided really good returns. And if you would listen to us in the last webinar and buy the stocks package, the stocks you would see. And those are the return in this month. And I think it's quite amazing. AMD in the first place with 47%, Intel with 30%, Marvel again with almost 31%. And this is just 1 month from the last webinar. And in the other few days, those stocks actually went up even more. So this is what you would get if you would buy the stocks package in the last webinar and hold those 10 package up until today. You can see two stocks there didn't went to the right direction, AMKR and Empower, but 8 out of 10 provided a really good return. And if we look at today's forecast from the stocks package, you would find Marvel in the head of the forecast. Of course, I deleted the rest of the 10, 8, and 9 more stocks because Yaron didn't let me to present it.
Making me
But
the bad guy again.
yeah, you're the bad guy. I wanted the Yaron told me forbidden for me to present it. Just the first one, by the way, but check the signal. Check the
Yeah.
signal of this specific stock. If we look at the other signals of the rest of the 10 stocks, it's like 5 or 6 times more than the second stock. So this means that the algorithms see a really big potential in Marvel, and this is just for the 3 days. And as we saw, Marvel is jumping by 8 or 7% right now. So this was the semiconductors package. We also saw the hedge fund package. And another interesting package that we suggesting you today on our webinar, it's the Trump package, which I particularly really like. And this specific package is actually focusing on Trump portfolio. And additional to that, focusing on the sectors that Trump is actually supporting and is in his doctrine. So we can find there, for example, XLE, which is the energy companies, which means that in this package you would find the best energy package to focus on, as well as XAR, which is the aerospace and defense universe. We will see crypto stocks, AI stocks, technology stocks, and even Israeli stocks. So we can find all of those sectors in this package. And of course, I don't mean to be like in this. Those specific sectors won't appear in the package. Just the stocks that are included in those ETFs or in this or in those universe. So, for example, in XAR, we'll see all the aerospace and defense stocks, and the algorithm will find the best stocks to be in from this specific sector. So this is a really promising and relevant package, I think, for those days. And we can see one example of this package for the 1 month from the 26th of April. We can find GNRC, we can find the FICO, STX, NVDA, and many others that appeared in this package.
So basically, we are taking the current Trump portfolio as the baseline, and we are adding on top several sectors that are part of the Trump's doctrine, Trump agenda. Energy, as you mentioned, energy stocks. So we have all the energy stocks that are in the market as part of this universe. We have AI stocks as part of this universe. And basically, the AI algorithm is creating the ranking and identifying the best opportunities from this large universe on a daily basis, basically.
Yeah, I see that we have a lot of questions. We will answer them in a moment. Another really interesting package that I think could be in everyone's portfolio is the ETF package. From all the ETF pool that we have in the US market, the algorithm picks the best ETF. It gives you diversification in your portfolio, if it's different sectors or geographical diversification. So in this forecast, we can find in the 3 days the QQQ, for example, the Nasdaq 100. We can find Taiwan. We can find technology. We can find home builder. We can find information technology. We can see a lot of ETFs that the algorithm suggests to buy. And we can actually see a really good return from an ETF universe at 3%. And if we compare it to the S&P that did 0.9, and we can see that those ETFs was actually even on the beginning of April. We can see a lot of technology ETF here, MAG 7, the Magnificent 7, semiconductors, and SPYG, as we can see here. It's growth companies from the SPY, S&P 500. And this specific package made 18% and doubled the returns of the S&P 500. And again, each and every ETFs, we have multiple stocks, around 60 or 70 stocks in average. And that lowered the risk in your portfolio and also gives a lot of diversification in the portfolio. And the BAS package that I think is really relevant right now. It's talking and focusing on the stocks that everybody talks about, and they are appearing a lot in the social media or in the digital media. And we can find a really long and interesting list of stocks that on that package. We can also, by the way, find here Dell, CVNA, Coca-Cola, CrowdStrike, and many others. And this specific forecast is actually focusing on those trending stocks. As we can see in yesterday forecast, the leading stock was SMCI that jumped by 7%, and the red signal stock was Intel, and we can see that it went down by 1.2%. That's yesterday forecast. And it's interesting to see and follow the BAS package, which I think is pretty relevant to the period that we are right now. And the top 10 package is if you don't really know in which sector you want to focus on, and you just want like a general package that will cover all US stocks. So we will representing or giving you the top 10 package, which gives you the best top 10 stocks out of the US market. And this is a really large pool of stocks. And we can see that additional to the 10 stocks that we have here in the long side, we also provide in this specific package and a forecast on the S&P 500 index itself. And we can see it right here. So we in this forecast we know that the S&P will be positive for the next month, and rather than that, we also know which stocks to be in. So it's also give us the trend and give us specific stocks to be in. So if you don't know which package you want to focus on, if it's the semiconductors or the hedge fund or the home builders, you can take the top 10, and that's a general look on the entire US market and picks the best stocks out of it. This package is more volatile than the others, so you have to pay attention to that. But it's one of the most popular packages that we have, and the top 10 is also highly recommended. And before we'll show you our special webinar sales, we're gonna introduce the last package, which is the implied volatility stock. So if we have some volatility fans in the crowd and people that like investors that like stocks that are moving in a really high standard deviation, so we represent you the implied volatility stock. Really interesting, spicy stock. You can find some really big movement. And if we'll check the the last month's forecast, for example, you can find some really interesting stock in one package. Check this out. Actually, NVTS, AMD, MXL, and ARM in the same package. I think that's a really interesting combination. And if we'll check the 3 months, we can also find really interesting stock. Again, in a more volatile universe, you can expect high volatilities from this stock, so we have to manage the risk as well. But this is the implied volatility package that we really like. All right, so you have different sales that we're giving you in this webinar, specific to the people that are in this webinar. The first, you can try any out of our stocks from our website. We have a lot of stocks a lot of packages that you can choose from and try them for 1 month and get the experience that you need. And our first webinar sale is actually combining 2 packages for $349 per month. You can choose any combination that you like. If it's the top 10 or with the ETF, if it's the hedge fund with the stocks, and if it's the S&P 500 with the semiconductors. You can do any combination that you like. You can try it for 1 month. There's no commitment. You can cancel it anytime. And the link to this specific webinar sale is in the chat right now. In your Zoom chat, you can click on it and you'll see the link to this specific sale. This sale is available for the next 24 hours only. And after that, the prices go back to the original price. So take advantage of this really good sale for $349 in a permanent price. And you can check what's the prices of those packages in a regular day. So it's almost like a 50% discount. So use this combination and choose any 2 packages that you like from our website or from this specific webinar. We have special packages that you won't find in our website. So feel free to choose any package that you like.
For example, the implied volatility package that you just showed is not available in the website. It's available only in this webinar cell. The Trump package is available only in the webinar cell. There are several packages. The semiconductors package is available only on this webinar cell. So there are several packages that are available, as Ben mentioned, only in this 1+1 deal, basically.
Okay, so now I want to go and I want you to listen carefully because this uh, product is one of the most amazing products that I saw in I know first, the AI portfolio, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why I think it's like the most advanced and amazing product that we have. Because first of all, if you don't want to look any signals and to check in different time frames, you can just get the best 10 stocks once a month and buy them for your portfolio and get it every 4 months. This portfolio is actually generated by the AI every month, and once in every 4 weeks, the AI, the algorithm, gives you the best stocks and assets to be in for a period of 4 weeks. You don't have to do anything. You just get the stocks and buy them once a month. And of course, this product is also exists already more than 1 year, and it costs $330 for 3 months, and for per month. And actually, you can you are available to pay it every 3 months. So it's $990 for 3 portfolios. And I want to show you the last portfolio results that we had on the last Wednesday, actually 1 week ago. The portfolio has performed 17.6% in 1 week. If we'll check the S&P, it actually made 1.19% in the same time. So this AI portfolio has managed to provide us 17.6 return in 1 week. The rebalance happened in last Wednesday, and everybody that was in this portfolio, a lot of you send us a lot of compliments about this portfolio. They bought it on the 27th in the closing prices. You always have to buy those assets in the closing prices and hold them for a period of 4 weeks. This result is just after 1 week. It's like 5 trading days, and I think it's quite amazing. We of course deleted the symbols names, but we did left the return of this portfolio. Check the returns of those 10 assets in those 7 days. I think it's quite crazy, and not just that June was a really successful month. If we'll check the statistics of the AI portfolio for 1 year backwards, or from the beginning of this AI portfolio, from the April 2025, we actually generated 60% return, while the S&P made 34% in the same time. So if you want a really sophisticated technology to build your portfolio every 4 weeks, this is the product for you. You just buy the stocks that we provide you. Every 4 weeks, you hold them in your portfolio and wait 1 month. Then you get another portfolio, and if you need to update it, you'll update the stock. Some of the stocks may remain in the portfolio, some you may change, but every 4 weeks, you get the best asset out of our entire packages. And actually, the algorithm is checking the best sectors that are in the market right now for the next month, and then it is going like a drill down process and choose the best stocks out of those sectors. This is actually was available only to our institutional clients, but now we gave the private clients an opportunity to use this amazing tool. So it's available for you now. And the AI portfolio, you can join now and get the June portfolio for free. And you also get like a bonus of this month portfolio, and you get also, of course, 3 more portfolios for the next 3 months. So if you'll join now, you get this portfolio for free. You could check the stocks and maybe join this portfolio. I don't think it's too late. And you get additionally 3 more rebalancing days to buy the next portfolios. So this um, sale is available right now for you guys in the chat room. You can click on the webinar sale number 2 link and get right to the AI portfolio. And I truly believe that this is our best product, and you can see by yourself the return that is providing us in just 1 week. Okay, so this is just the June portfolio. Of course, 1 week on with June, but I also want to overview the last portfolios that we had. If we'll check April, if we'll go to the April portfolio, we did 7.87% in 1 month. If we'll go and see which stocks the algorithm is actually chosen in this month, we can find the NVDA, we can see the semiconductors ETF, we can find the Marvel that was here also for the last month, we can find XLK and the Magnificent Seven and many others, ETFs and stocks, and we can see the returns of those assets in this specific period from the 29th of April until May 27, and the total portfolio has performed almost 8% in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see Marvel there as well. I mean, we talked about Marvel, and we can see that in this portfolio we had Marvel in our portfolio basically.
Yeah, Marvel was there as well, and the semiconductors, of course, there was also here. There's like 3 or 4 ETFs in this portfolio, which makes it even less risky. And if we'll check the March portfolio, or from the 21st of March until April, we can find also a almost 8% return for the entire portfolio. We can find NVIDIA there, we can find Microsoft, we can find XTS, which is the oil and gas ETF that performed 11.4%, and many other stocks. It's all, by the way, available on our website. You can see the portfolios and go back through the years and through the months and see the allocation of each and every portfolio. And of course, if we look at the beginning of the year in February until March, we can see that while the market went down by 0.19%, the S&P, the portfolio had provided almost 5%, and focusing on stocks such as GLW and XDS and XLI sector, the industrial sector. And we can see not all the stocks are going to the right direction, but the average of those 10 assets is pretty amazing. And of course, we advise to do it as an equal weight, to give an equal weight to all of the assets, and that will bring you a really good results. So the AI portfolio, I think it's one of our leading products. It's $330 per month, paid every 3 months, and you'll get the best assets to be in. And I promise you, those are the best assets to be in the market. Providing 70% in 1 week, it's I don't know, it's like it can be a yearly return, and we did it in 7 days. And again, the algorithm, and just the algorithm, picks the best stocks and assets for you guys for a period of 4 months. It's a long only portfolio, and and you'll get 3 months of this portfolio. So don't miss that train. I still think this today's portfolio would go way more up. And if you join today, you'll get today's portfolio for free. I mean, June portfolio for free, and 3 others portfolios as mentioned. So use this webinar sale and join to this product. And of course, in a regular day, this product costs $499 per month. For this specific webinar sale for the next 24 hours, it's going to cost you $330 for a month, and of course, paid every 3 months. We have, let's see if we have some question about this.
Yeah, we do have, there are some questions. So I will try to answer those questions and to tell you about the differences between the two deals that we have here. Actually, the first deal is 1+1 deal. Basically, you can choose, mix and match any combination of the packages that we are offering in our website. You can choose 2 packages of your choice. It could be the Trump package, it could be the implied volatility one, it could be the S&P top stocks or the top 10 stocks or the top ETFs. Basically, any combination that you would like to have. There is no commitment. Every month you can change your selection. You can, let's say, if the semiconductors, if you feel that other sector is emerging, you can change from the semiconductors to other sectors or other packages that you would like to focus on. And basically, this is the best way, in my opinion, to experience the service, to receive the daily opportunities on a daily basis. This option is providing you opportunities on a daily basis before the market opening. And every day you're receiving daily forecast with 6 time frames, short-term, mid-term, and long-term. If you would like to receive it on a monthly basis, only once per month, you would like to receive the bottom line, the final portfolio that the AI is suggesting, the webinar cell is the one for you. The webinar cell number 2 is the one for you. You're going to receive every 4 weeks an equally weighted portfolio, 10 stocks and ETFs that basically you need to buy today and to hold for the next 4 weeks. And if you would like to receive everything, on one hand, the daily predictions, the daily opportunities, and the monthly portfolio, then the deal number 3 is the one for you. Basically here, you can choose between, you can get the AI portfolio and 1 package of your choice. And if you would like to get 2 packages of your choice, like the 1+1, then this is the deal for you, right, Ben? What do we have here?
Yeah, we have the yearly subscriptions. If we want to have 2 packages of your choice and actually get the AI portfolio on a monthly basis, and additional to that, to get the AI dashboard, which is the compass for the stock market, and I'm going to talk about it shortly. This is the combination for you for $399 per month, paid every 12 months. You're getting everything you need for the financial market. You get once a month, you get the best 10 stocks to be in. You get a daily forecast for specific sectors that you want to focus on, and you get the AI dashboard that giving you the forecast for the S&P 500, for the Nasdaq, for the gold, for the silver, for the volatility indices, and actually providing you everything you need to know about the financial market, the stock market. The dollar index is inside as well. And we're going to see all the features that we have in the AI dashboard. And you get all of it in $399 per month. If you just want to focus on 1 package and the AI portfolio, you can do it for $299 per month in a paying it out every 12 months in the yearly subscription, and you get the AI portfolio and one packages of your choice that you can actually change on a monthly basis. So those are the deals for our webinar sale that are available for the next 24 hours. It's 1+1 through all the packages that we just showed you. The second one is the AI portfolio. I'm telling you, it's the best product you're gonna meet in the financial market. Combining technology and finance together, this is the future, and this it will cost you $330 per month and paid every 3 months, or you can get it all by picking 2 packages. Get the AI portfolio as well, and you get the AI dashboard for free. All that for $399 per month. This is the 4th webinar sale. You have it in the chat right now. And trust me, it's the best combination you're going to get. And this deal is available for the next 24 hours. And if you ask us what we'll think the best packages to be in right now, Yaron will tell you it's the top 10 or top 20 package with the AI powered portfolio. And I would say the ETF package and maybe the implied volatility package or the stocks package together with the AI powered portfolio. I don't know what to choose. There are too many good packages actually to be in right now. But I think the ETF and the AI powered portfolio is one of the winning combination. And this is what we suggest
Yeah,
for the
I have also plan B. I also really like right now basically the semiconductors package is also super exciting, as we all can see in the market. And I believe that also the software services, the IGV package that includes software stocks, is also pretty relevant right now. And of course, I would combine it with the AI-powered portfolio. 17% per month is a very good return per year, I would say. Per week, sorry, 70% per week is a very good return per year. And since inspection, as we saw, over 60%, right?
Yep, and it's not the end. It's not the end. We have 3 more weeks to go for this portfolio, and those are the packages that we suggest to buy. Just a quick example of the AI dashboard. I want to show you what's included inside. I think it's pretty cool. You can see the forecast for the Nasdaq, for the Russell, for the S&P 500 index, for the gold, for the oil that everybody talked about in the beginning of the year. And in March, we can also see a forecast for the Bitcoin itself and the 10 years government bond. Everything you need in one dashboard. This is actually all the symbols that are in this dashboard. You can see the currency, the dollar against the euro, euro. You can see the silver, the gold, Dow Jones, S&P, oil services, the VIX, and many other interesting ETFs and indices that will help you to understand the direction of the market. So you get the dashboard for free. You can see some examples for how good is the dashboard. It predicted the USO, the oil services, in February to be one of the strongest commodities, and we saw that happening right after. We also saw the U-turn in the gold and the silver in the beginning of March, and also, of course, the volatility and the Nasdaq going down on the beginning of February 2025. So it can help you avoid those drops in the market. which are actually equally important as being in the right place. You can also avoid being in the market in sometimes. So this is the tool that will help you to do so. The AI dashboard. By the way, you can pick it as a package, independent package by itself. So you can feel free to do so.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
I see, just a moment before we continuing, I see a lot of questions about the deal. Let me, again, I will try to clarify. The AI dashboard is included in the webinar cell, basically number 4. It's right now in the chat. As Ben mentioned, it's a very important stock market intelligence component because it's providing you basically the information whether it's a risk on market or risk off market. It's providing you daily forecast for the main indices, daily forecast for the volatility indices. And basically this is the first heat map that you need to monitor in order to understand whether you would like to be in the market or not. Now, so it's included in the webinar cell number 4, along with the 1+1, 2 packages of your choice, and also the AI portfolio that we have just saw.
Yeah, if you're joining the AI portfolio, you don't get the dashboard. I see some people ask that as well. The dashboard comes, as Yaron says, only in webinar sale number 3 in the yearly subscription, and then you get all the packages together. Yeah, we have some Spanish people in the crowd, so we don't really know how to read that. So if you can ask in English, it would
You know,
help.
in the new AirPods that Apple is releasing, you will have the ability to actually speak any language. Yeah,
Interesting, but we still cannot read any language, so I think
right.
that
This is
still would
another
remain
development
a
that we're working
problem.
on.
All right, yeah, we'll try to answer some more questions at the end of this webinar. But feel free to ask us. We're going through all of your questions, and we try to answer as much as we can. And now we want to show you our, as Yaron said, we have 2 products. One is for the private clients that actually trade on a daily basis in the stock market. But the other solutions that we have is to institutional clients, in which we are actually generating trading strategies, independent trading strategies. And in those cases, we are taking the best from the algorithm and building interesting strategies. I want to present one of them right now. It's called the combined strategy. It's a long-short strategy, which means that the algorithm tells us if we need to go long or short in the specific month. And it actually combined from basically the GEEX level 1 sectors, the 11 leading GEEX level 1 sectors, in which the algorithm picks 3 main sectors to focus on out of the 11. It picks also 2 ETFs from the GEEX level 2, which means the subsectors, the industries, for example, the semiconductors or the banking sector or the home builder sectors. And once every 4 weeks, the algorithm picks the best assets to focus on, and adding to those sectors, it picks the 5 most predictable stocks out of the S&P 500 index. And all that combined, this strategy, we can see that the majority of the strategy, actually 80% of the strategy, is combined from sectors and 20% is from stocks. So the main focus here is on the leading sectors. Just being on the right sectors can provide you a really edge and the advantage on other clients. So this specific strategy that we're going to show the result from 2020 is actually providing a really good returns. In the past 6 years, this strategy has performed 824%, while the S&P did 132%. And I think the most interesting thing about this strategy is not the amazing return that it provided, is actually the risk that is involved in this strategy, which is really low. We can see in this case the yearly return in each and every year from 2020 up until 2 days ago. 2026 was a rough year to provide returns, and we can see that the algorithm has managed to do 27%, while the S&P stands on 11.2. And the most interesting part, I think, is the drawdowns. The drawdowns is like an institutional term that they're using it for a risk level, and it means during that year, what was the biggest drop in the algorithm returns. So we can see that in the majority of the times, actually the strategy was less risky than the S&P itself. Like in 2020, we had a 9% drop while the S&P did 33%. And you can see in each and every year, in the majority of the times, we actually did, the risk was even lower than the S&P with a really good Sharpe ratio and other risk measures that institutional clients are using. And this specific strategy is one of our leading strategies, and really easy to perform. Every 4 weeks. You just have to buy 11 assets, and I'll show you a few examples from the past few months. If we're looking at the beginning of the year, again, the market went down. The algorithm picked 3 sectors to be in. In this example, is XLB, XLF, and XLI, the basic materials, the financial, and the industrial. The algorithm also providing the weight of each and every sector. So in those 60% that we provide, that we dedicate to the Geeks Level 1, the algorithm also giving them their specific weight. And this is crucial to doing an optimal allocation to the portfolio. And we also see the level 2, for example, in this case, we have the semiconductors and the aerospace and defense subsectors, and 5 stocks that the algorithm choose and give them around 4% to each stock. We also buy a S&P 100 or MAC 7 or RSP. To RSP, it's the S&P 500 equal weight. If we want to focus on more concentrate market or being more broad about the market. So this is the first portfolio in February. We also had a positive return of 1.4 while the market went down. Again, keeping a low risk a portfolio. Here we can find that the algorithm focused on the energy sector in the beginning of February, which was really helpful for this portfolio. In March, we actually went short, and those are the stocks that were that the algorithm was providing short on, and the sectors that we short as well. And that provided us a 3.5% return, while the market dropped almost 3.5% and gave us a pretty good alpha on the market. And if we're looking at the last portfolio from April, we almost doubling the market with 8%. We had XLK, and the interesting thing here that the algorithm gave the XLK, the technology sector, the majority of the weight, almost 26% out of those 60% went to XLK, that jumped by 12%, as we can see here. It also included Marvel, it also included AVGO, and also included the semiconductor universe, as well as the oil and gas ETF that we saw here that jumped by 10%. Then we have the last month portfolio that ended like last Wednesday. And also here, the XLK, the technology sector, the algorithm. As we told you in the last webinar, we saw that technology is really strong and the algorithm gave it 30% of the portfolio just for the XLK, another 15% for the consumer XLY, semiconductors that jumped by 23%. Marvel stay in the portfolio for 26%, almost 27%. And the Magnificent Seven was also part of the portfolio. And we saw that the return of this portfolio went to 7.4%. And that I think is really impressive because it's the majority of this portfolio is actually main sectors from the S&P 500. So if you're interested in one of those strategies, please feel free to contact us. You can do it through the website or through the mail that you see here, Ben at iknowfirst.com, and we'll be happy to find a strategy that is fit for your needs.
Yeah, basically this is, our Ferrari, let's say, this strategy, because the performance here is amazing, as we all seen, but also it's risk-adjusted strategy. We build this strategy when we thought about the risk level. This is what we're trying to prioritize here, and we are also taking advantage of opportunities, basically short selling opportunities. This strategy is a long-short strategy. So in some situations in the market, we might see opportunities that's coming from the short selling side. And also another advantage of this strategy is the fact that the AI, as you mentioned, is providing also the specific weights for each position, basically.
Yeah,
as we see it here.
All right, and we also, before we're gonna see the forecast for the next month, we also provide a crypto package if you wanna trade the cryptocurrency. We have 4 different crypto packages for you guys. Also a world indices package if you wanna have a more global look on your portfolio. Commodities, if you like to trade the gold, the silver, the oil, the natural gas, also can provide a forecast for those commodities and many other more than 50 commodities in this package. And we also provide currency package that more than 75 currencies that you can find in this package. All of those are in our website. And before we're going to see the forecast, we just give you a quick reminder of our 24 hours webinar sales. So let's see them again. The first webinar sale, 1 + 1, or you can choose actually 2 packages for $349 per month. You can choose any packages that you like. You can do any combination that you like. You can cancel at any time. You can try it for 1 month and then stop. This is our first webinar sale that you can find again in our chat. The second webinar sale is the AI portfolio. Amazing product. You don't have to do a lot, just to buy 10 stocks every 4 weeks, and that's it, and hold it for a 4 weeks period. The AI will do the job for you. That costs you $330 per month, paid every 3 months, and you get the best stocks in the market every month. And the third webinar sale is combining 1 package of your choice and the AI portfolio for $299 per month. Again, a yearly subscription, and the all-inclusive premium webinar sale that we have, it's the webinar sale number 4, in which you combine 2 packages of your choice. You can combine everything that you like. You get the AI-powered portfolio, and you get the AI dashboard for free, and that's all for $399 per month in a yearly subscription. So this webinar sale number 4 is available for the next 24 hours. And I think it's the winning one. And
Definitely.
after joining that, tell me what you think next month. What are you going to think about your portfolio? So
Definitely.
those are
Definitely.
the 4 webinar sales in the chat. There will be available also in our website soon. And now I'm gonna
Wait,
show
wait,
you.
wait. There are several questions about the deals that maybe it's better to address now before everything. What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do you guys have the new DRAM ETF added to your package? Yes, we do. Basically, we have something super exciting about the DRAM ETF. This is a new package that's also available with the annual deal. Basically, the AI is creating a daily ranking and identifying the best opportunities out of the entire universe, the DRAM universe, and basically the very same way that we doing and providing the top 10 stocks out of the entire market, we are providing the best stocks, the best equities from the DRAM ETFs holding, and it's pretty exciting package. It's available with the annual, with deal number 3 or deal number 4, basically the annual deals. Another questions that you see here, Ben, that could be interesting.
Uh,
Just people are asking what is the DRAM. It's like the memory semiconductor space. It's ETF that following the memory and the semiconductors space. There are questions about the cybersecurity as well, but
yeah, we didn't talk about it today, but in the last webinar we talked about the cybersecurity package, the hack package, that you can also find the leading cybersecurity stocks, which the algorithm suggested to buy to different time frames. It's also available in all our sales, but it's not in the website. You can get it only on our webinar sale.
right.
More than 70 question here, but I think we answered the majority of them. And all right, let's show them the forecast. I think
Let's do it, Ben.
if they did it for 1 hour and a half, they deserve to do the forecast, and then we answer some more questions. So remember the last forecast that we have? Again, I'm showing it that what we showed you in the last webinar, but this webinar we're going to show you actually the forecast for the Magnificent Seven for the following month. This is a live forecast from today. Of course, it's not a financial advice. Just providing here the forecast of the algorithm, and do not go and buy those stocks. Just giving you a glimpse of our algorithm abilities. But from the Magnificent Seven universe, we can see that NVDA, Microsoft, and Meta and APGO has the strongest signal. Google looks more weak than the others, as well as Amazon and Tesla. But you can see semiconductors here, and the technology stocks are leading this forecast. You can see actually a positive forecast on the Nasdaq. So it still looks quite positive, and also the although the S&P 500 index looks positive for the following month. So this is the forecast by the algorithm for the next month for the Magnificent Seven stock uh, for June. So this is the again what we provide, and of course, joining to our community, you can scan the QR code that is on your screen, and you get a lot of forecasts that we adding there in newsletters once a week, AI articles. We are talking about the market. We're giving you some live examples. So scan the QR code and join our WhatsApp group. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. All right, that's basically was our webinar. I think we can answer some more questions that were added to this big pool of questions. And so, Yaron is seeing anything that we didn't answer?
Yeah, actually, there are some questions about the indicators that we actually we explained it during the webinar, but basically the AI is generating two indicators on the daily basis. The first one is the signal. It's basically representing the upside of each asset. We are creating every day a ranking that providing you the best opportunities in the market. The second number that you see on the bottom, this is the confidence level. As Ben explained, we do suggest to focus on the long-term forecast. The higher predictability, the higher confidence level is actually appearing in the long-term forecast. So as a daily process, we do suggest to start with the long-term forecast, and then to go into the shorter time frame, but always make sure that your opportunity is appearing in multiple time frames when you're deciding to go into a position. Yeah, I think it was a very interesting webinar, Ben.
Thank you, thank you.
And yeah, guys, make sure that you're taking advantage of the AI capabilities by utilizing the different options that we offered you today. It's exciting market right now, and we are inviting you to take advantage of the AI capabilities that can basically identify opportunities for you on a daily basis. Thank you for being with us, and good luck with your investment.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. Yeah, see you next time.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much, guys. Bye-bye.